This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mikta Rabentau, Anathos Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elendriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Celesta Notrell, Lazy Boy, A Wild Sarah, Luke Osborne, Pandalu Stormarrow, Tex, Kai Lin, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, Celine DeLune, Webster Wolf, Severa, Circa Barrakiel, AJ Brainswordson, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Pizza Pockets, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, and Framboise Sakuro. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 378. I'm Lakeel Brayston, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mela Vanadar, and Rolodes. Hello. Welcome. It's November 25th, 2023.
Oh my God, Christmas November.
It is Christmas
November. The 25th of November.
Yeah, this might be stressful to think about, but in a month, it's Christmas. To me, it's less than a month. So wild.
And this year's already almost over. Isn't it so quick, fellas?
Yeah. It has gone quite quickly.
I feel like the first half of this year went really slowly for...
Yeah, but it's really picked up.
Yeah, really picked up near like the midpoint. Now we're here, near the end of the year.
I feel like it's because we've been busier in the second half of the year.
Yeah, that's true. Also, yeah, that's true. I guess I'll say this now. For next week, we will be getting super close to our anniversary. Our anniversary is on the 6th. So we're doing sort of the anniversary episode next week. So it'll be a speaker's anniversary and also a retrospective on Final Fantasy XIV as well. So I'm just saying that now. So that's what we're looking back for. What? That's what we'll be doing next week. We'll be looking back on the past. That's what I meant to say. There you go. Also, that means that we're having an anniversary. There are 3 anniversaries that we're dealing with. The 14th anniversary, our speaker's anniversary, and our wedding anniversary, Mela, which is...
Oh yeah, we got to get that prepped.
On the 6th as well, but obviously we'll try to get it on the first Friday, because the 6th is on a Thursday, ? No, it's on a Wednesday. So maybe on the 8th, but you'll have to tune into the streams to find out. Today's top story, we're going to talk about the cloud servers, give our thoughts. It's essentially a great discussion about the future of servers and data centers in general in 14 after this. And we'll be reading MogMail. Now, the website is up, so you can send us MogMail now, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. The website might look a little janky in some spots, specifically the Patreon section. I'm still cataloging everything there, but it should be up. Everything else should be up. It's also dark now. It's in dark mode, finally. We did it, folks. We've entered the era of dark mode for our website. So
finally, it's about time. Hurts my eyeballs.
Yeah, well, shouldn't do that anymore. Speakersxiv.com speakersxiv.com/MogMail. That's the MogMail address. All right, stay tuned for the post show. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. Meager questions from the Syndicate this week. But that just means there's more time to get through the Pokemon today. So stay tuned for that in the post show. Okay, that's all. Let's jump into recent events. Right. Well, we'll start with some shilling. The collector's edition. There's a 10th anniversary collector's edition digital upgrade sale underway right now.
Wow.
It's in great 50% off for the
That's a
for an
lot.
upgrade. It'll be on sale until December 8th, so you have to act fast if you want the 50% off right now. So if you don't have it,
Well worth it.
you can get it now. You can. I mean, there's lots of amounts.
They get progressively worse each time, but
I was thinking that you can see the
Yeah.
each year there's as once we got the Stormblood, there was less than the previous years.
Yes.
yeah.
That's
But it's
true.
fine.
God, Heavensward came with a Fantasia. That's kind of crazy.
That's nice. Well, it's because it
What a
added a
treat.
new race.
Yeah, but they didn't do
You'd
that
expect
with.
That's
the others
true.
to do that as well.
Yeah, they didn't do that with Shadowbringers.
What is
So-
the middle top one for Realm Reborn?
It's
It's the barding,
the behemoth barding.
behemoth barding.
Oh, bit
Yeah,
difficult to tell.
yeah.
I
So
thought it was some sort of hideous creature because of the fact that it has the 4 legs of Behemoth.
no, yeah. Two mounts though for a Realm Reborn as well.
And
which is
some
kind of
good ones.
pretty
The
crazy.
Herd is really cool, and the Fat Choke.
Yeah.
I feel like the Realm Reborn was kind of the best value.
Oh,
and
for sure.
has
Oh yeah.
the best stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everything else is like,
Mhm.
just the mount or like a weapon. Oh yeah.
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 The
Unfortunately,
No,
Heavensward one has the helmet too, I guess.
yes.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, you can't get the pre-order items, which were pretty
No.
good.
They
for-
were strong.
The
The EXP
Stormblood
boosting
one's
ones.
amazing. It works to level 50.
Yeah.
It includes crafting and gathering.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
never did that
Yeah.
shit again. They knew what
No.
they did. Like that was too good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Endwalker would be frustrating to get because I don't know which one that is, if it's Palom or Porum.
Yeah.
But you can't get the other one because that was a pre-order bonus. So
Yep.
you're just stuck with one of the twins from
Mhm.
Final
That's
Fantasy
true.
IV.
Yeah.
I hope they that would be something I'd be okay with them putting up on the mock station, honestly. Getting the pre-order
pre-order items?
earrings. Yeah, or the items. I guess you'd
I don't
probably
know
have
if
to
they'll-
bundle them because they're all
Mm.
it'd be weird to just get like
People were very upset when they added some set bonus items onto the Mog Station.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd bundle them. I think they'd sell them on it all individually.
Oh, yeah.
And I also don't
More
think
money.
they'll sell the. I don't think they'll sell the earrings again.
No.
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 No, you have to be there.
well, they will. It's the next expansion, I guess. That's when
There'll be
you
a
can
new
get
set,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There'll be a third year in a row of an earring with an XP buff.
Yeah, I wonder what it'll be this time. We had the Alamegan one, which is like, what was that? It was just like a clump. Like I don't
Just a
remember what.
clump,
Just a
yeah.
clump.
Yeah, I never identified what it's like a metal blob.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what
Yeah.
it
Is it
was
a
supposed to
bomb?
be.
Is it like a metal? I don't know.
Just Amiga.
It's just
Yeah.
called Alamegan Airing, and for some reason it's just a clump. What was the Shadowbringers one? Was the Aetherite? And
That one was the best one.
Endwalker was
Yeah.
Minfina.
Minfina. The Aetherite ones are actually good for glamour.
The
Yeah, the
Aetherite
Aetherite
ones
one's cool.
are the best one too, because that's when they started sinking, right?
Yes.
I don't think they synced
Mhm.
last
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadowbringers. So.
No. Yeah. So there you go.
I believe, just Googling the Alamigo ones, it's the Griffin like logo of Alamigo, but it's on a massive circle. It's very hard to see.
Oh.
Okay, I guess I can see
It
that.
doesn't look very good.
Those things are massive on the character. Oh my, that would tear off your earlobe.
Oh my God, they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. I've never seen them this close. Oh, it looks better than I thought. The
Yeah.
icon for it makes it. Oh, I see.
It's too dark, the icon is, so you can't see it.
Mm.
Well, now I see. Okay.
Well,
That
the icon is also against like a grey background typically.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. True.
Not good.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure to pick them up.
Pick them
buy
up now.
them all.
50%. I don't know if that includes the bundle, but I would assume so, like the Ultimate Collector's Edition or whatever it's called. But you have to log in to check it. Good lord. Of course you have to, because it's... And also, I wouldn't see anything. I have them already. So I don't
That's
know.
true,
You'll have to find out yourself. But they're saying Collector's Edition digital upgrades are on sale for 50% off. Don't miss out on this limited time opportunity to upgrade your game with amazing Final Fantasy themed minions, mounts, and more at a discount. Yes?
Any predictions as to what you think will come with the collector's edition for Dawntrail?
Amount a glamour for the
Well,
new
no.
weapon job and
Yes.
minion, but specifically.
I'm asking for more specifics, please.
Wallach, what are they called? Wallachway earrings? Whatever the blue mage.
Wallachie. Yeah.
Yeah, Wallachie earrings.
Well,
I think that's going to be the earrings.
Do we not have
No,
them?
because
I think we already
no,
have.
you already
don't
can
we?
get. You can already buy Wallachie earrings.
Yeah.
with,
You do? Oh, fuck,
seals.
Yeah, they're for blue mage.
Yeah. It'll be like Tural earrings or New World earrings or something like that.
I think we're getting a crawler mount.
Oh my
funny.
god. If that's the 11 connection they're putting in, I'm gonna.
Well, what other 11 mounts are there? That aren't in this game?
Do we have the Raptor mount yet?
Yes,
that's
we
also.
do.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
The Raptor comes from Zadnor.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, right. I do.
I think the only thing we don't have is the crawler, so I'm going for crawler. And the minion will
There's other
be.
mounts that are missing.
Yeah, I haven't played since it's been a while, so they've.
The minion will probably be like a. Oh, it's always a character. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know.
Wind up original Cryo?
Yeah, could be wind up
Oh,
original
yeah.
Cryo. Could be an 11 character that I don't know.
Yeah,
any
it could be an 11 character. Iraha.
Yeah, wind up Iroha would be kind of cool.
We don't
Is that
have a
already an
straight
Araha
up
minion.
what?
Is it already an Araha minion? Oh my god, crazy.
I don't think
Is
it's
there?
an Iroha
I don't think
minion.
so.
No. Maybe we'll get
Huh?
that, a wind up Iroha. Bomb. Do we have a bomb mount? That's an 11 mount where you just ride a fucking
We have
bomb.
the bomb palanquin, so
But
if
not
there's
like
just a
a
whole bomb,
straight
that's
up
cool.
bomb.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's
It
also a
could be even
beetle.
cooler because the
I love
well,
11's
the beetle
mounts.
would be good.
They're just like so, just things. Just
Now that they've
just
set
like
precedents
that.
for us just turning into the mount, they could be anything.
yeah.
No, I don't
You don't
want
even have
that.
to put creativity in anymore, Georgi. You could just we just turn into it all the time.
I do. I like that about 11, that they just turn overworld mobs into mounts. I
Yeah.
wish there was more of that in our game, to be honest.
There's also
I
the,
agree.
the magic pot mount, which is the,
Ooh.
but it's not
Do
like
we have an Aurochs mount? Like a
Yeah,
the do we?
Yeah, the
Ye-
buffalo mount is from
Yeah.
Island Sanctuary.
But it's it's new, isn't it? Yeah.
There's also Tolfair, which is like a big like pink bird, which
Oh, that'd be nice.
yeah, it's very nice. There's actually quite a lot of mounts that we don't have. War Machine, which I mean doesn't fit because it's an orcish invention. We don't have orcs in the game. Oh,
Not
what
yet.
if we get
Yet.
orcs?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I hope we get orcs. I
orcish
love
scouts and orcish, all the fucking orcish variants. There's also like
Don't
just
the
a
things-
squid mount in 11 as
Aren't
well,
the-
which is cool. Yeah.
Don't the wargs look like orcs, or are they different thing?
Oh, let's see.
The wargs in Lakeland.
Those things.
They look like land
No,
sharks, though, right?
they look more like they have more like a canine-esque face, if I may say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like jowls and shit.
Yeah.
For the level ones.
Yeah, the 11 ones are more like fat, like traditional orcs, essentially.
That's good. I
Okay.
like that.
So the wargs look like a mob from 12. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. What were they called?
Don't know.
We're way off here, but
Fawabo mount. What's a Fawabo? I'm looking up 11 mounts now.
God, you're asking me a lot of things. There's Raz.
It's like a giant blue. Oh, it's a manta ray, but really bright.
Yeah, that's the. Oh yeah.
And then there's the squid.
Look up.
It's so cool
the
mounts.
Zomet. The Zomet.
That's really cool.
Yeah. There's.
And it's like a golden bomb.
I'm surprised we haven't stolen more from
Just-
11.
How
Actually,
do you
Let's
spell
just-
Zomet?
XZ.
Oh, it starts with
Zomet.
an X.
Yeah.
XZOMIT. It's really cool. And the Tulfair's nice as well. And there's a Moogle mount, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, we have Zomets in 14. They're in Eureka. Oh, they're just the squid things.
Yeah. They're the pink
Yeah.
squids.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can ride it,
Hmm.
which would be sweet.
Yeah.
That's neat. And 11 has a lot of good stuff we can still cannibalize.
I mean, in 11, you also have like I'm trying to find it. I'm pretty sure there's like one that looks like just straight up Alexander, like a smaller one, but it's called like a giant, Iron Giant.
It's an Iron Giant mount, but it looks more like the Iron Giants in our game.
I might be misremembering it. Doesn't it just have like floaty parts? Yeah, it does have floaty parts. Okay, I guess
Well, it
it
looks a
doesn't look that
little
much
bit like an in between of the two.
Yeah, it's not an actual Alexander. It's not. Then it would have been called Alexander.
Yeah.
But there you go. Yeah. How did we end up here? We're trying to figure out what mount we're getting. Many 11 mounts to take from, but we want crawler mount, please.
Yes, please.
That's what we want. Okay. That's that. 50% off for collector's edition. If you want any of the old collector's editions, this is definitely the time. 50% off. Okay. Enough shilling? No, it's not actually.
No.
It's technically shilling again. It's not even technically. It is. The pizza. Sorry, what? The pizza. Eat pizza emote.
Give me pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza
is now on the Mog station or the online store.
Who in the moon? It's your eye.
And people are upset.
Angry, apparently.
I love. I'm not saying it, but I love the outrage.
It's
Now
it's
you know how
ridiculous.
it feels when they reintroduce the yokai match event.
No, I don't, Mela. I don't care.
I don't care. I'm glad that we can get it on the mug section because no one wants to use stupid promotions all the time.
No, now you know how it feels for us every time there is a collab event because we don't actually get to do any of we just don't get them. We just either don't get them or make them impossible.
We still haven't got the option to even get the Chocopuka. There's never been an opportunity to get that.
Oh
no.
Show off that mount in front of you guys.
Yeah.
Just rub it in your faces.
Still waiting.
So I think NA players have had it too good with these collab events, and it's time you get to taste some of the rest of the community's pain. Actually, you should be happy. It's now available for everyone. You got a fucking pizza. We get nothing but an in-game item.
Exactly.
The only thing that sucks is for people who tried to get it, did everything they were supposed to do. But because Grubhub sucks ass, I guess they ran out of codes and just lied to you and didn't tell you that they ran out of codes. So you bought a pizza that was probably bad for nothing.
That's sad.
Those are the ones I feel sorry for. The ones that spent money on something they wouldn't otherwise buy to get something they didn't get.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah.
That's obviously not. That's not good. But look at the bright side. You got a pizza.
You got a pizza.
Well, depends on the quality of the pizza.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Emote is on the mug station. It's £4.3. It's what is that in euros? That is a weird price. How do I have to go?
It's 490 euros.
490. Okay.
Really, that cheap? I thought it would have been more. I don't know why.
That's not cheap for a single character emote.
Well,
that's €5 is a lot to pay for an in-game emote where you eat a bit of pizza.
Was the pepperoni pizza set included?
No, this is £2.88, but you get 5 sets of pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, but
do you mean in the thing?
Yeah,
no, I don't think it was included in the promotion.
So that's new for everyone.
That's new.
Okay.
Yes.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that. You got your wedges. You got your. I guess they're
Wings.
meant to be wings. You got
Or
3
drumsticks.
dips.
Yeah.
A nice looking piece of the ice in those cups looks kind of good. Bit of salad on the side. 2 cocks. So.
Oh, cocks.
And then when it's ended, it has the bones from the chicken.
Yeah.
Cool.
Man,
when you. Yes.
Yes, Roland?
if you have this in FC House, I'm gonna eat the shit out of this and ruin
Nah,
it.
dude,
I'm gonna make
please
sure
don't.
this have the empty plate. Like, this item is so stupid.
I
hate
find it super silly that you can buy a
Oh,
an
you
item
can't eat it. Never mind.
Oh, it's not eatable?
No, it's
Why
edible.
does it have like an eaten up state?
No, it is edible.
It is edible. It isn't.
This
it?
item
Oh, okay.
grants it
This
that you
item
can
is
meal it.
yeah. So
That's why you get 5. It can be used up to
You get-
10 times.
You get
Oh.
5 sets.
You actually
Oh,
get,
that's so gross. When you eat it, there's just leftover chicken bones. in the
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah, we eat them.
We said that.
Oh,
nice.
I
It looks
I
good.
just saw it. Nasty.
I think it's
You
cool.
just saw it.
The only
Yeah.
unrealistic
You said it.
thing is the
I wasn't
dip.
looking at it when you
guys,
said it.
guys, this is important. When you eat it, you get direct hit bonus plus 4% to a maximum of 10. Vitality bonus plus 5%, max 12. Gear durability bonus plus 3. And an EXP bonus of 3% for 30 minutes. Guys,
Yeah, durability bonus plus 3 is actually an interesting thing.
Mandatory
they
for
shame
A
rating.
little bit unique.
They shamed the Lalafell in the pitch. If you click on them, it says on the one where it's all eaten, "We can't believe she ate the whole thing and she is still hungry."
yeah, what the fuck,
Why are you
dude?
shaming her?
Stop shaming her. You forced her to eat that
Oh.
pizza too, by the way, for the picture. So, you
Yeah.
know.
All that pizza and cola and salad and I don't know.
Oh,
You're gonna be
okay.
shitting for
I don't know.
days.
I've never clicked on the images and seen that they all had subtitles.
No.
I'm curious to see the rest of the mug station.
Get a load of
Yeah.
those dimensions.
Actual size.
Hmm.
Yeah, so pizza, enjoy
Pizza.
or don't. It's your
And
choice.
don't be upset.
Don't be upset. 'cause
That's
it doesn't
silly.
matter. Now everyone gets the opportunity to have it.
Yeah. I mean, sure, be upset.
Be upset
I don't
if you
care.
want,
Be
but I
whatever you
mean,
want to.
It's not going to change. It's not going to change anything.
No.
If you are upset, comment for engagement, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you say something wrong, Rollo, so we can get some engagement in the comments?
Why would you pick him?
Ice Heart
Oh, yeah, what did I pick
is
him? I'm worried now.
not cool and dumb, and Harshafont is
That's opinions.
also dumb.
No. You have to be like, guys, did you know that Heidelin was actually a little man who lived in a cave in Puerto Rico in lore?
Whoa.
I just
Puerto
learned that
Rico's
the
my
other
favorite
day.
City-state.
Yeah, so. Anyways, moving on from that real bombshell that I just dropped about 14's lore, we move on to something we're going to talk about a little later, but this is a reminder for those that want to participate. For the Cloud Data Center, there's a login cap stress test on Sunday, the 26th of November. Thank you for your support on the Cloud Data Center stress test so far. With your help, we've been able to collect various useful data covering elements such as zone stability, and to date, we have managed to maintain an extremely stable operation with no instances of zones going down. As a final step of the stress test, which runs until Tuesday the 28th of November, we'll be conducting a stress test on the world login cap. In order to check the stress on the login cap, we will need as many characters as possible to be logged in. The stress test starts on Sunday the 26th of November, starting noon GMT, 11 p.m. Australia Eastern Time, until 12:30 a.m. GMT, 11:30 p.m. Australia Time. Players will need to be logged into the Cloud Test 1 world during the 30 minutes test period. While logged in, you are free to spend your time playing content or hanging out in any of the game's areas. We only ask that you do not log out. Please ensure to log in early as it may take time to log in. All you need to do is participate is access the data center selection screen from the title screen, select Cloud DC Beta, and create a character on the Cloud Test 1 world. It says here.
What?
Yeah.
01?
So-
But we're
Does anyone have to
02.
make another character?
Oh well. That's fine. I'll participate.
Also, this warning is also only for those that are watching live. This will be over by the
Oh, yeah.
time this is
Yeah.
uploaded.
That's true. That's
true.
true. Does it mean we have
That's
to have our
noon
characters?
on Sunday.
Yes. Does that mean we have to have our character in server 1? I don't know. I mean, you can travel to server 1, so I think that would still count. But you have to be on the server. You have to just fill up the player count.
Look, it says.
We're gonna do your part. Remember,
Yeah,
Square Enix
I
has
am,
nice.
yeah. I'll
Yeah.
definitely be there.
It's just half an hour. That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Weird that they're stress testing the login cap, but saying please log in early as it may take some time to log in because there's going to be a massive cap on. Is that not?
no. They're
test?
trying to hit the cap of like how many
Like,
people can be
in
logged in.
the- Okay.
Yeah.
Not the amount of people in the queue. That's different.
No.
Just remove the queue. He'll definitely stress test
That
it
will
way.
definitely be a crash. Okay, can you imagine? At one point, I didn't have that originally. They had no queue system. You just went
so
in.
they just
an issue?
knew. They knew how bad shit it was going to be, so they didn't think they'd even need one.
Yep, so there you go. We'll talk more in depth about cloud servers in a little bit. But before we do that, let's do it. Let's read some MogMail. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it is. Here it is. This is from Ancilla Starweaver from Lamia. Howdy, speakers. Sorry in advance, this letter came out kinda long. I'm writing this after listening to your MogMail discussion regarding the creation of a new player experience that allows folks to experience the story while also not having to go through hours of MSQ. There seems to be a common sentiment in the community that as we head into the next story arc, there needs to be a new starting point for players to hop into. However, as a new player, having just started the game in January 2022, I disagree. The MSQ represents a large portion of this game's content, literally hundreds of hours of it. There's lots of other things to do outside of MSQ, of course, like endgame raiding, crafting, etc., but the MSQ is central to 14. I took 4 months to get through the MSQ and do all the raids for each expansion. Along the way, I was doing roulettes, leveling classes, and learning a lot about the game. I'm glad I had this buffer period to get acclimated to the story and gameplay in 14, and I think this is a benefit for many players. It's funny to me that people want skipping the MSQ to become easier considering how often you see complaints about the content drought. Why are we wanting players to be able to rush to an endgame where eventually people run out of things to do? If someone really wants to skip, the story skip will always be there in the Mog Station, and New Game Plus can allow players to go back and experience past quests. I just don't see the need to add something that will encourage more players to skip. Well, it's not. So we've had this discussion. We've discussed this many times now, but I think it's not encouraging more players to skip we're looking for. We're looking for a way to encourage more players to stay. Which A Realm Reborn, unfortunately, A Realm Reborn, we've said before, is a very long-winded game now. Like, it feels very it's starting to feel, you know, there's better things ahead because you've learned about the game, you've seen the trailers, you know what you want to do, but first you have to go through this very long storyline, which even with the cuts that were done, still feels like it's padded. Like, there's still a lot of padding in that game to this day. When
we talked about it last time too, and I think it was mostly a joke, but I still kind of stand by it. It's like when you tell someone to play 14, it's like telling someone to just start watching One Piece.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, that is a commitment, and it's good, but you're still for 100 hours, I would say, to get to end game, depending on your pace.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for both parties as well, because, like, let's say you've watched all of One Piece and you want me to start watching One Piece. We can't talk about One Piece outside of what I know. So for you, you gain that enjoyment of, like, oh, he's discovering One Piece. We can talk about it a little bit, but realistically, you want to have a chat about what's currently happening and, you know, where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't think people, like, the people who have droughts in 14 have usually already done most of the content in the game, so it's not going to help them either way. But I think if you had been around for a Realm Reborn, or you've been around for an expansion launch, the feeling of everyone being together is quite nice. And when you join the game and everyone's far away from you and you're kind of on your own doing the MSQ, it can feel a bit isolating. If there was a way for everyone to sort of feel like we're all in it together again, that's quite nice. I think the option is, I don't really care either way, but I don't see, like, the option's fine. I'm not, you know, if they want to add that, I mean, that's fine.
All that's
but just no one can complain about what they've lost.
I think the people that want to play like a full story game, you know, like a Final Fantasy game, will play a full story game. But some people may not want to do that, when their friends are playing Dawntrail. Like for some people, the social aspect is more important than the solo experience, which essentially is what A Realm Reborn is now, unless you're lucky enough to start A Realm Reborn now with a group of friends, because that I would still say do the whole thing together, because that's very unique and very rare for people to experience now.
And I mean,
yeah,
I can't speak to this necessarily from personal experience, but is not the doing content together with other people the goal of MMOs in the past? I mean, this is 14 is quite unusual in the degree to which the story is a focus of the game.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
MMOs, you would be doing like party content explicitly from the start, basically.
Yeah, this is a very unusual MMO.
Yeah,
that's true.
But he said Dawntrail is going to try and focus more on group content. Do you really want everyone to miss out on that because they had to go through the whole storyline up until now? So that maybe it'll be dead by the time they've actually caught up.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's true, it's going to have a long half-life, of relevancy, about maybe 2 years, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So that is plenty of time to go through it. Though I do understand wanting to get through it. It's doable if you enjoy it.
Yeah, because we're talking about because what we prefer is one thing. Like I would prefer that you played through the whole game. That's always been my stance. But we're talking about the survival of 14, which eventually will become very difficult if the game bloats up to 900 hours to get to Dawntrail. You're eventually think about 11. How much for the people that have never played 11? Ignore the fact that it is the controls and all that. Ignore that for a second.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to start playing 11 right now and experience the whole thing? A 20-year-old game at this point, and that game does not fucking hold your hand. You need to have wiki stuff.
Only because most of the people who still play 11 are veterans.
Yeah,
and I'll never experience the feeling of what it was like at the time.
Yeah. Now
it would feel a bit empty to me.
Let's add another element to this. Your friends are at the end of the game. They've played the game actively. They're like, come play 11. You just need to get through 15,000 hours of gameplay to catch up with us. You can do that. Here's the guide. You can't do that.
The point?
So you have to be like, sorry guys, I can never play with you. I can literally never play the game with you, ever. Sorry. So you'll be like the outcast, because the game doesn't have an easy option for you to get there.
Yeah, it's true.
There's
something
also
strange.
An issue that
Sorry, yes.
You go first,
Rollo.
Okay. Saying something strange that I think I might have mentioned this a long time ago too. That if you ever played SoH, you know that SoH, Star Wars: The Old Republic, I should say, has a very big focus on its narrative, very similar to its story content, in a similar way that 14 does. But the key thing I think that 14 should maybe at least look into, at least a little bit, is a lot of that story content is partied together, even in cutscenes. Where I think 14 could greatly benefit from just I don't know, let's say you party up with a new player that's joined, and I mean this is an extreme example, but just so you get the idea of you get to watch the cutscenes with them, or you get to, I don't know, your character stands in the background in the cutscene with them. That something like that really emphasizes group play in the narrative, which, like I said, I think SoH does really well.
Yeah.
So
the cool thing about Old Republic was that when you were doing MSQ with another person, you both selected the dialogue options you wanted, and if you didn't agree, it would pick between them.
Yeah,
that was always funny. Yeah. It was in the dungeons you would get that.
Yeah.
14 could never do that, but consider it.
Actually,
maybe
14 could actually do that with how minimal impact dialogue choices have in this game.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
The thing I was going to say earlier is that one thing people need to consider is the Realm Reborn that many of us experienced, or at least the ones that played it at the time in 2013. It's not the same A Realm Reborn it as it was back then. They may have streamlined the story, but they've also streamlined every job's skills. So
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
not necessarily as complex as it was back then. And even with what we have, it's not like people who play the game now enjoy getting level synced down to those levels to play with the skills available to them.
Right.
That's not necessarily going to be fun for people that are new to the game either.
No.
No,
That's
absolutely
true.
not. Leveling jobs in 14 is definitely back-ended to where everything that's interesting about your job doesn't even come at like the capstones of like 50, 60, it's 70 now, I would say.
Mm.
And for
Mhm.
some jobs, it's definitely all like, oh, you hit 80 and 90. Now your job can play normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, look at the version of Summoner we have now. The version that we have at 50. You don't have primal summons. You don't have the like OGCDs that you have at higher levels. It's not very fun, even at level 50, and that's what we're asking people to play through the game at. They have to play through all of A Realm Reborn with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, a lot of the enjoyment of A Realm Reborn back then was kind of the unknown and the difficulty level of old A Realm Reborn. The dungeons were harder and more interesting feeling because you would die from Final Sting. The last boss of Brave Flux actually filled the whole arena with the poison. So the experience that new players get is kind of it feels just too easy. People aren't set up for like most of the content in the late game. And I think you can see that in some of the more recent end game trials, like Shinryu and Endsinger, in that these have some real mechanics to them. And a lot of people fall over because, they're used to such steamrolled content.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the appeal
I mean,
of a Realm
you can
Reborn
even
as
see
much
it
now.
in something like the single player Duty Free and From the Cold. A lot of people complained that it was so difficult that it made them want to quit the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't
just
think
it's
it
not
was
that bad. I mean,
Wait,
it was
is In From the Cold, is that Thancred or is that the other one?
No,
It's
that's
the one where
that's
you
the
get
one where
out
you
of body experienced or whatever.
Because the Thancred
Yes.
one was one that was like, okay, this is like actually like a little difficult, but it's
Thancred
still
was
not.
good,
Yeah.
but the
wasn't
one
that
where you were
bad.
put in, like your soul was put into the Guardian. That one was really well
that
done.
was great.
Yeah.
It's really railroaded too. If you like ever replay it, you see it's a straight line. Essentially, you go through, you just loop back every
Yeah.
like twice or something.
It's difficult because there are people that play this game super casually in terms of the content they want to play, and there are people that want to challenge, so they need to find that balance. That's why they started adding in that difficulty toggle.
Yeah.
Once you fail a duty once.
Yeah. But I don't think the idea of forcing you to go through a Realm Reborn, if this is a fresh start, is definitely the answer. I think if there is the option to put in, do you want to skip to Dawntrail? Go for it. It doesn't really take away from anything.
But
All it takes away is their experience of the story.
Yeah, someone said, well, why not just do a jump potion, which we do have. I mean, you can.
I mean, yeah, you can do that, but that's asking them to pay money to.
Yeah,
to
that's
play the game.
believe it or not, that's already like a way to like be like,
A
oh, do I want
barrier.
to? Barrier.
Yeah.
Do I want to pay for that
I've
or just
bought
quit
this
the game?
Yeah.
Oh, but the thing too about like I don't mind if people skip. Really, I just think you turn out as a worse player.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I'm more likely to see you as a worse player, and content you shouldn't be that bad.
That's why we've been discussing an alternate way of getting faster to the end, like fast track to the end, other than just skipping everything. Maybe getting like we've talked about this before, but like getting some sort of abridged, like just a very like a retelling of the story, so you know what's happening. Like maybe you get some select like cutscenes from the story just to like show you the big points in the game, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're not like completely out of it. So you can
combat tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like just cut out all of the fetch quests and just keep you in like the quests that like matter, that like move the story along. I don't know. There's many things they can do to sort that out. But I don't know. We'll see. I think Dawntrail might show us they might introduce something there, because if it really is what we think, that A Realm Reborn was like, that's 14's story arc, maybe Dawntrail will be the beginning of something new. So maybe maybe something will be introduced for new players there.
I think if they do implement something like this, it will only be available to your first character made.
Oh,
because
100%.
Oh, yeah, for
jump
sure.
options.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm okay with making it super limited, or like one per account for, you know, if we've already been playing, maybe we can skip an alt or something. Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Also, one thing that you have to remember, that if you're a new player and you say just use the jump potion, you have to buy 2. You have to jump. You have to do the MSQ one, and you have to jump your job. That's like 2.
Otherwise,
it's quite expensive. You're essentially buying the game again. So
it's like $30, I think, altogether.
I think
it's not. It's not cheap.
It might be closer to 40 actually, isn't it? Like the jump
40?
potion, like it's pretty expensive.
God, I hope you pick a job you like too.
yeah.
Well, you won't know.
And not just the one you started with.
Yeah. God.
That's the risk, I guess.
Yeah, that is the risk. But yeah, I know most of us will be like, play the story, and that is truly what I still think. I think you're missing out if you don't play the story. But
it's the best way.
Yeah, but we can't deny that there are players that are not playing the game right now because they were faced with this dilemma.
I think it would be difficult to ask a panel of Final Fantasy XIV players hosting a Final Fantasy XIV podcast to say, skip the story. Just
exactly.
No, hey, I have a special insight. I skipped the story until Heavensward, remember?
Oh.
Now, I only played this game for the gameplay and the raids.
You did?
Until like, That's
you
how
did,
I
right.
played this game.
But you have
But now
you have repented because you
redo
A Realm Reborn every year. So
yes, I do my pilgrimage.
he has repented, chat. He has repented.
Exactly.
So yeah.
My friends were rushing me though. That's the point. They're like, "Come on,
That's
game game."
Yeah, of course they do. They want to play with you. So yeah.
But like Lukiel said, the most beautiful experience ever would be having 3 other friends to do all of the Realm Reborn dungeons and stuff. That'd be that's an experience you're not going to get.
That's the way it's meant to be played.
You're very lucky if you got that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I can see people telling you to rush through A Realm Reborn back during A Realm Reborn more easily than now, because A Realm Reborn was the only story that existed back then. We hadn't hit the highs of Heavensward. There were still people that weren't like super high on the plot back then.
Right.
So,
yeah. True.
It's true.
Okay. So that is that's that. Thank you, Ancilla Starweaver. Let's we'll do one more. Fuck it. Here we go. Here is from Honey Rider from Zervan.
Honey Rider.
Yeah. Hi, speakers. Hope you're all well. I have a question for you regarding Dawntrail. Do you think anyone in our main party will die? I find it incredibly unlikely, seeing as none of the Scions actually did an Endwalker. If not the death of a Scion, what do you think it could serve as an event to really drive home the strength of a new threat? Just curious as to how we'll raise the stakes in a post-Endwalker universe. Post-Endwalker universe ending expansion. Love your work and thanks for all the laughs. Thank you, Honey Rider.
Nobody. The only way they're going to drive an emotional response in this game is things like, let's say whoever our main enemy, let's say we go to a village, all of us Scions, or the crew we're with, and we're like, oh, these guys are cool, and we help them, you know, there's a monster problem, we harvest some melons for them, we're having a good time, and then our main enemy shows up and just wipes the whole village out.
Yeah.
Things like that will happen potentially because they're throwaway characters, and now we'll all be sad because our super cool new team that we just liked are all dead.
Yeah,
that's a good way of doing it, and that's one of the ways they might do it. But Y'shtola fall down another well? I don't think so.
The thing is, though,
Rollo?
I feel that Dawntrail is being advertised as like a good time. You know, like I think they accepted that you couldn't really follow up, at least not immediately, what happens in Walker with like another like world-ending threat or like a step up. It's too difficult. So it's just it's a fun vacation.
Good,
and there will be
only.
a plot twist where things will get serious, maybe halfway or 3/4 through the expansion. But I don't think it's going to be world-ending Endsinger 2 with a gun
Yeah,
or something.
right. There will be drama, but not like that kind.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you're right. We've said this before. Do we really need to kill anyone anymore? Like, I feel like we've gone through the shocks of killing cast members.
But that's the trouble, yeah. But none of them have been like only maybe one or two have been that impactful, and like Moonbreeder wasn't super impactful at the time, and then was so forgotten. It only became really good because of the Urianger scene in Endwalker.
Paid
the
off
conclusion
later.
of it. Yeah, the payoff was good.
Yeah.
Yzael got done dirty. Horshafon, he was a good character, but he kind of just became memed on now. Like,
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's too cartoony how they portray-
Papa Limo.
how they talk about his death.
Papa Limo
To
me is one of the most impact. That's like a full like long-term
I mean, he's the
cast
most
member. It's like a
that one
scion.
is so strange because he actually has been there from the start,
Yeah.
and he just gets the biggest reference I can think of that you would see the MSQ. I think at least talks about it a couple times in a Stormblood.
At least
but, you know,
talks about it a lot.
She mentions,
Yes, but
she name drops him a few times. Yeah,
but like the big one, I think for us is just seeing him again in that dungeon in Endwalker. I would
The
forget the
Ideoscope.
telescope.
Oh
that was
yeah.
He doesn't say anything. You just see Tomb Samadhi broken.
Yes.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Dungeons like that, again, they're good ways of adding an emotional element without killing someone off.
Yeah.
And Ultima Thule was pretty heavy.
Yes.
And yet no one had to die
Well,
for it. So
I
I think if
think
they go down routes like that.
deaths have to be meaningful, which is why I think
Exactly.
Papa Limo's
They
death
never
was
are.
good. He sacrificed
Exactly,
himself
Mm.
like Luswa did, and you know,
yeah.
yeah. So that was good. So did
I'm all
Moonbreeder.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when they die and then come back, no.
No, you have to be. Yeah.
Manfred should be dead, and probably
Fake
Yashoda
outs.
should be dead.
Fake outs are not good.
Mm.
So don't.
They're
do
not
that.
enjoyable.
No.
There was like, I'm sure there was one in Stormblood when Xenos was attacking, like Lys died or someone, or Yashoda. In like the trailer, Yashoda's she's died about 4 times. She dies every expansion at this point.
I mean, she can't. She's the
Multiple
poster
times.
girl. Sorry.
Yeah,
She's the rep character in other games.
That's
She's never
boring
gonna die.
though.
Yeah. Well, we have to have
Kill off
one.
someone that we really truly don't want to lose, like Urianger. That would be sad.
Yeah.
I think
I
they
think
would
so.
be more okay with killing off Urianger than Y'shtola.
They would.
Yeah, they
but
would.
He's better than her.
In
So it'd be
your
sadder.
opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only ones that could be truly shocking at this point. Well, I mean, if they actually killed off Y'shtola, that would be shocking. Just because, like, existentially, in terms of like not just the in game, but like the fact that like they're willing to do it would be very surprising.
Yeah.
That's
but also
true.
Alphinaud and Alizé.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would be breaking up the twins would be one of the most powerful emotional response. Like I don't know who would be better to lose in terms of how it would impact the storyline, but losing one would be a devastating blow.
Yeah.
There would be riots in the streets.
There would. But if you want to make your game super impactful, it's not a bad way of doing it, but it has to be permanent.
Yes. Because you ruin the moment by being like, just kidding. Here I am.
Exactly.
I just fell behind a bush and survived. Yeah. They also said if not death of a scion, what could serve as an event that would really drive home the strength of a new threat? You did say like raising a
wipe out
village. Yeah. That's pretty big. Like death of like civilians in general is pretty dire. It's,
On like a pretty the bigger the scale. If we actually have met, a lot of the characters would be.
Oh.
yeah.
You know what? They blow up your island sanctuary. It's level 20,
Some
and they
people-
just like
Yeah, but some people wouldn't care because people have.
it's a requirement now.
They
You
block
have to hit level
yogis on.
20.
And also, that's like that's different because like that's like a time investment, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
a labor type thing that you've invested in. I don't know if that's the same thing though.
No.
They randomly
feel
delete
emotional, though.
50% of your mount collection.
No.
Yeah, well, someone said death of a city-state leader. That's not bad. Like that
That would
could
be
be a
good.
way to
Yeah.
to solve
But-
certain things. But the problem, I mean, I don't think that would be a problem.
Please be Merlwib or Kane
Yeah,
Senna.
that's what I was saying. Like Merlwib.
No, but here's the thing. I think they're more likely to kill off Raoban.
No, please don't kill Rob.
Yeah,
It's the one I
that's
don't want to
true.
lose.
And look at how much the emotional
Oh,
investment that you
don't.
have,
He's not,
Naylor.
he's
Yeah.
not even a
So
city-state
cool.
leader, though.
No, he is
No, but
not.
that's why they can do it.
He's
Yeah.
lost so much, Georgie.
He yeah, he has no. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He has no arm.
He's only a general for the army of Alamigo, isn't
Yeah.
he? Like, yeah.
But look at how everyone's reacting. People wouldn't care if you killed
It's true.
Nanamo or Kane Senna. It's not.
People
it's
did
not,
care
it-
about Nanamo. What?
Nanamo people cared about.
Not
Nanamo was
Kane
that was an
Senna.
outrage.
Not Kane Senna.
Merlwib.
You're right about Kane Senna.
I
Who?
don't think people would care. I don't think people would care if you killed Nanamo now because she already had a fake death. That's the issue.
But more so, Nanamo's still cool though. But if it was Kane Senna, literally no one would care.
Nanamo.
To be honest, she might already be dead.
They can't.
I don't
They
know.
can't touch Nanamo because they've already done that plot point with her, and then they faked out on it. So
Yeah.
that's never. That's not gonna happen.
Biggest 14 flub in history.
I think Raban is good
100%.
because he doesn't serve like a function in like the same way as the other city-state leaders. He's not a city-state leader. He is like a. He just is. I think a general. He's like in charge of the military. I think in Alamigo.
yeah.
What if Merlwib gets tempered by Leviathan?
We could cure her now. We have
We
have the
know how to cure that.
We-
I think it would be better
Yeah.
if she just got like fucking assassinated or something by a pirate or something. Like that's the only way I can. But it has to be dramatic enough, right? So maybe it is a
She
trident.
falls off the bridge.
What if they make a plot point where Merlwib has to do the trident again, and then her
Finally,
ship
yes.
gets like attacked by Sahagin or some shit, and then no, they've made peace with.
Or
the
she
Sahagin,
just
haven't they?
fails because
Yeah.
she's old now.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe she just straight up just gets murdered, like she dies because she's so old.
Yeah.
Dies of old age during the trident. That's epic.
I like this.
I mean, I think part of what we're talking about is it has to be related to the main plot line.
Yeah.
Like, is
Well,
the
yes,
Trident
it
going
does,
to
yeah.
be like part of the MSQ?
Well, the trident happens in. Where did the trident take place with her? I thought it was on the. Well, it has to be because the Wilbrand is on the west side of Aldenard. So
Somewhere in this team, maybe, I don't know.
yeah, I think it is.
The
there.
main
So
part of
maybe
this is more about Google Jar Jar, though, or whatever.
no, we don't know
Mm,
that.
and his-
That's only one part of the plot. There's always like multiple
Do you
plot
think
points.
maybe we'll see that they're having a new election system and then the Limpsons will be like, oh, but you know what? We haven't had
Well,
someone elected
the
for a while. Merle was in
the
charge, you
trident
know?
is triggered when someone challenges the admiral, and that can happen at any point after her term
It's
period.
supposed to happen every 7. Yeah.
Yeah, which hasn't.
Hmm.
I mean, we're way past the 7-year mark now, so someone can come up now and be like, "I think
Oh, they
I can
definitely
do it
should.
now." Yeah, there's many people that can die, but it's. I think it's weird to talk about like killing off characters just to kill off characters. Like, I want it
That's
to
true.
make sense.
There needs to be a plot point for it.
Yeah, I
But I don't think we are raising the stakes in the post-Endwalker universe right now.
no, but I think
I don't think.
I think the point is
no,
that
I
we're
don't
not.
think Dawntrail's
We're-
going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna have
lowering
just
the
a
stakes
cool
a
time.
little for once. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. I hope no one dies in Dawntrail. That's right. Controversial opinion, but there it is.
Yeah. Not even the enemies. No combat.
Yeah.
Just play your chocobo.
Yeah. Sorry, we have to. Okay, so that. Thank you, Honey Rider, but we
Rider.
have to take the third one as well because
Oh,
of the name.
100%.
I love.
It's a classic.
Okay, so moving on. Last MogMail from Marilyn Monrogadin.
Yes!
Oh,
Hello
Marilyn Monrogadin's
again, speakers. So there I am at EU FanFest keynote when the 11 Allied raid was announced. My first thought, my ass is numb from sitting on the fucking floor. But my second, huh? We never did send our Iroha back home, did we? Which is
No.
weird,
Nope.
given that Byako told us in Stormblood that we have the same color soul as 14 Tenzin. First time the color of a soul is mentioned in 14, implying that he was our previous incarnation.
Mhm.
And Tenzin from 11 is, spoilers for a nearly decade-old story point, Iroha's father.
Spoiled.
Will the 11 storyline involve Iroha chasing us down for a parallel child support? Will they force everyone to do the fate quests? Given that some of you have played 11 as well, have you any better theories? Also, Lukiel, I really... Yes?
Some. I was laughing at that use of that word.
Me.
I think I can talk to
Well,
it.
you have...
And Georgi, I think you can.
Everything dingbats. Mela and Georgi can answer.
Yeah.
Also, Lukiel, I really liked your Halloween episode. I thought it was well edited and still wonder what the fuck was up with Spook Heel Gravestone. Please don't be afraid to be creative again. Forgot that was...
He's afraid to be creative.
I am afraid to be creative again.
He'll never be creative again.
That was... I
You
forgot
did
that
this to him.
that was the name we gave him for a little bit. Spook Heel Gravestone. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, that's true. I think it will be weird to do an 11 raid and not involve Iroha because she's the anchor to 11, like to 11 in our game.
And she's stuck here.
Yes.
What's she been doing all this time?
She's been
Finding herself.
Yeah. Is she still in the Drowning Wench? Question mark?
She's not. She went on a journey.
Nowhere.
Oh, she just left. Okay.
She said, yeah.
The only time she came back was when she decided to redo her event.
Right.
She obviously forgot what had happened, so she redid her event and then went on a journey again.
Well, the Tenzin and Iroha connection is interesting. I don't see any reason for us to like pull our Tenzin storyline into this. I feel like that was very done, like when we finished it.
We don't need any more Tenzin and we don't need any more Suzaku X Tenzin. We just need to leave that all alone now.
Yeah. Well, they might, if they are bringing Iroha in, it'll be, I mean, maybe we'll get some more background on Tenzin again, because, I mean, the theory is that 14 Tenzin and 11 Tenzin is the same person, which makes sense considering Iroha is here. Like, there might be, they might make that more canon, I guess. But...
It'd be pretty wild.
That would be wild. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think Iroha is going to play a part in the 11 crossover. She might even be like introduced. I don't know. They're not going to pull her into the MSQ for sure, but there's going to be some stuff with her in Peril probably. We'll see.
100%. I mean, look at
Interral.
Well,
why not? You can have a wandering Ronin. Kind of thing.
Maybe she'll be like, "Oh my god,
Yes.
Mummel Jaw. I remember them in Artugan. They were bad."
and then she kills them.
I mean,
Then she kills them all. That's the dramatic threat.
Holy
It's
shit! you
Iroha.
haven't killed
She's the boss.
I mean, the Tales of the Realm storyline has shown that like raids don't have to be in the new parts of the game.
No, that's true. But
almost all of them haven't.
Yeah, except Nier was in the new.
No, was in the new.
What? What are you talking about?
No, so all of them
are.
All of them except.
Oh yeah, they were in.
all of them except Tales of the Realm launch from the new zones.
Tales of the Realm, Myths of the Realm.
Myths of the Realm, sorry.
Right.
Oh, you just mean okay. As in like the entrance points.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like setting wise.
Oh, right. Sorry, what are we talking about? So the entrance points are all in. Explain like I'm 5 because you've lost me. You're saying what?
Crystal Tower is located in a Realm Reborn zone. It's located in Mordona. The Mark storyline launches from the Sea of Clouds.
Yes.
The what's it called? The Evil East one. It's technically part of Othard, but it launches from Kugane. And the Shadowbringers one takes place in Kaluja.
Yeah.
Right. So the exception is Myths of the Realm.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yes.
Yeah. So it can happen in Terral, is what you're saying.
It can,
because
but
that's
not.
the trend.
It doesn't have to.
But no, my argument was that they don't. They've shown that they're not. They don't feel they have to do that anymore.
No, but it needs to make sense for 11's entrance point to be where it is. I mean, Myths of the
That's
Realm
true.
could only ever be where it was, really.
My point was that even if they are launching these, they don't have to also be thematically from them. Like the Marquee one took place in multiple locations. The Void Art was floating around. The Weeping City was technically in a Realm Reborn area. It was near Mordona. The Evil East raid took place in an area we'll never go to.
Yeah.
Going back there?
Not really. A little bit.
Bosnia's in the same area.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter where the entrance is.
Yeah,
This is... I don't know why we're talking about this. We don't even know what the 11 raid is. We don't even know what it's supposed to mean. Like, is it...
No.
So there are many theories.
Again? It was Echoes of Vana'diel.
Which Echo in 14 means looking back for us. That's past.
Oh, that...
So...
Echo Lady can join in.
Echo Lady.
Mikoto, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, imagine if, like, we never even go to Vana'diel, and like it's in purely like just echoes. Like we talk to Iraha and she gives us echoes of 3 raids.
That could be cool.
That's
like
fine.
Of her homeland. That's,
I mean,
to be honest, that's actually probably the most likely way of them doing it, because people might be a little upset before.
I mean,
yeah, because if we're going to Vana'diel, which Vana'diel are we going to? Which era are we in? Are we current day Vana'diel? Like,
I mean, I think that would be cool to see Vana'diel. I just would like it to have a little bit more of an implication on our world.
It'd be nice if there was lore, but if they're going to do it purely as a theme park thing, then that having it as an Echo flashback from Iraha is a really good way of doing it.
So in 11, there is a... Now, I don't remember the expansion, but there is one where you can go back in time to see Vana'diel from a different point in time.
Wow.
Before or during the Crystal War of the Crystal. Wings of the Goddess, thank you. Which is interesting, because if this is called Echoes of Vana'diel, what if we get the same opportunity for Eorzea, and we get to go back in time, and then we see that it is Eorzea? Sorry, Vana'diel.
That would be cool.
That would be the biggest revelation.
I do some backflips to explain that one.
Do they?
So
a lot of
you're
back
saying that
no,
the world was sundered, and then in the early eras, at some point it was Vana'diel, and then as time moved on, it's now what it is now.
The earlier eras of the eras that we know are written down by Eorzean scholars. Like, that's what they've decided. These are the eras, right? But they do talk about a time before then, right? There's stuff that they don't know, right, about the very early times of our planet.
Yes, that's true. But you would imply that all of the races that we believe to have migrated from different continents all came from one place.
No.
Vana'diel. They're all there together in Vana'diel, aren't they?
Vana'diel is not Vana'diel. What do you mean? They're all there in Vana'diel.
Although they're called like Golka and Taru.
Well, they hail from different parts of the world as well. There's different lore for them. I don't remember all the lore for the races, but there's lore there. That's from where they come from. They didn't all start in the same place.
We have lore of where ours came from.
Yeah, but that happened way later. Like, what if something cataclysmic might have happened that just annihilated everything on that continent, and then people came back?
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, they can.
Where are you saying Tural is Vana'diel? Potentially?
No, I don't know. I don't know what no, because the theory originally was that Aldenard or Eorzea was Vana'diel. I'm just trying to explain this theory.
What is the timeline of 11? Like how much time is covered within the histories of 11? Because it needs to fit into the 12,000 years that we have since the Sundering. If that's the case.
It's very... Vana'diel is very old. Okay.
Yeah, where is an 11 lore book?
Ancient lore states that Vana'diel was created as a playground for the gods and their children, who themselves were spawned from an enormous and sentient crystal. So you can already see that there's some they shared some similar lore.
10,000 years ago, the Kulu and the Dawnmains turned against the Zillat, blah 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 blah, made the construction of Tulia, but there's stuff prior to that, so it could kind of.
The world of Vana'diel is very fucking old. So
well, then if it's 10,000,
that was when that happened, but there was stuff before then.
There's question marks only on VanAdeelTimeline.com.
Remember, this
No,
is
well, yeah,
this is until Vanadil ended, Georgi. Like it ended
Yeah.
after that.
No. Yeah, but like, so you're saying there's 10,000 years of lore in 11.
Yeah. Oh well.
10? No, more than that. I mean, well, there's
Well,
10,
there's
10,000 plus
if-
implied more.
Yeah.
Just like how-
then that's problematic. That's problematic because the game has specifically said it's been 12,000 years since the Sundering. There have been points in the game where they say that.
There's been 12,000.
So Vanadil was
Yeah, so
post-Sundering.
implied 2,000 years extra then.
Yeah.
Because it's 10,000 plus implied more. So, I mean, 2 plus 2,000 years still fits.
What?
There's 10,000
He's
years.
saying that Vanadil is part of the post-Sundering Heidelin,
Yeah. So
but
10.
just ancient.
Yeah.
That's what the apparent theory for 11 is.
Obviously, their lore is not going to be 1-to-1 because Vanadil was made without 14 in mind, and 14 was made to be its own thing eventually. So
I know. So my argument is like I'm just trying to figure out how they will consolidate the two if it is the case that Vanadil is in our world.
right.
I
Yeah, 'cause
suppose
as Chad is saying, for Vanadil to fit into our world, there would be points where it crosses over with Aleg's timeline and Mark's and the War of the Magi's timeline because of the fact that we know there is specifically 12,000 years between now, as in when we are now in a 14 universe, and when the Sundering happened.
that's true. Because if 11 is 12,000, well, 10,000 plus years. I mean, we have the Crystal War here, like 800 years before Final Fantasy 11 begins. So that implies that Vanadil was in current state 800 years ago.
Well, that wouldn't be
Which
possible.
therefore wouldn't be possible.
I mean,
See,
I don't know, let's look shit up.
that's my issue. Like they could retcon things, but like would 11 fans be happy if they completely retconned aspects of Vanadil's history to fit it into 14 without making it its own Vanadil?
That's a good question.
No. It would have to be a shard.
That's
then.
what.
Well,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I just think a shard is the most.
I think
likely at
Heaven
this
Sword and
point.
Shadowbringers ruined the Vanadil history theory, but that is now I have presented to you what the theory was before then.
Mhm. That's fair.
It used to match up. It used to match up in people's minds.
Unfortunately, it's just something that like with as more and more has been added to 14, it's become more and more difficult to like say that the two of them share a universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. It'll probably be what you said. We'll see some echoes from 11 from Vanadil probably, and then that'll be it. There won't be any real anchor to 14's world.
As sad as it would be for a Vanadil, like sort of sad. Like it would be cool if Vanadil and Eos and Heidelin are connected in the sense that they are both shards of the original planet or the original star. But like, it would be upsetting that it like exists only as a shard within our world.
That's also going to be. That's not going to make 11 players happy because that implies that Vanadil is somehow lesser than Eorzea. It is just a reflection of the perfection that is Eorzea.
That's true.
It's also not very nice to.
No, all reflections are equal.
No, they're not. They're lesser reflections of the source.
We know that they're not. Yeah, they get pulled towards the source.
Yeah.
They all feel an inextricable pull towards the source, which suggests the source is greater.
The further away, wasn't it like something about that? The more like different they become as well. Wasn't that a plot? Something they mentioned in Shadowbringers? Like that's why the first is so similar.
Maybe.
But you know,
I mean, also,
yeah,
the source has the ether of 7 different shards already. It is thicker than the other shards.
That's true. That's true. So who knows how they're going to do it? I mean, going by this, it'll probably just be theme park. You just go. So. There will be no anchor to the source probably.
I am worried with it, but if it turns out to be a theme park, because the last time we had a theme park raid was the last time it was Nier, and I didn't like that very much.
No. But that's
almost
probably
every raid we've had has been theme park though.
That probably is going to be a thing.
Ivalice. Ivalice was the closest to tying into our game, but it still was a theme park. The only ones that have been more deeply rooted are Mark and Myths of the Realm.
Yeah.
And Crystal Tower.
Oh, sorry, Crystal Tower. Sorry, it's so old. I don't even think of it as a raid.
So it's actually 3 to 3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't generally like the movie tie-in theme parky ones as much, but we'll
No.
see how this one goes.
Yeah.
What was the 8-man raid from this thing
I
again?
We don't know yet, do we?
They're not doing.
We
No.
don't have that yet.
Okay.
I mean, I think they can do it well. I mean, look at Evilise. I think like Evilise
Yeah.
was very confusing to us at first, but then they really were able to integrate it such that like we want kind of more from that part of
That's
the
true.
world because it feels really disconnected.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
but Evilise is part of our world, though. Like,
Yeah.
it
No, I know.
does.
But
Yeah,
they,
we
it's only
travel
part
there.
of the
I'm
world because
yeah,
of
I'm
the
just
tie-in.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just making that argument because Mailer was presenting
Yeah.
the Evilise raid as part of as more theme park
Oh,
style
yeah.
rather than like lore integrated.
Yeah, no.
That's the most well-integrated theme park one they did.
I think,
Hmm.
yeah.
But like Nier was also very much integrated into the world, but it wasn't very good.
No.
Well, it's integrated into a part of the world that is kind of irrelevant to us most of the time,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what we think about that.
Looking forward to it.
Essentially, I don't think there's going to be any connection. They're just going to be like, "Oh, Iroha, you're still here. Yeah, let me show you my story," and then we get to see some stuff from Vanadil.
Yeah,
wonder
and
where
we'll
we'll-
meet her wandering through the new. She's been exploring. We'll meet her. We'll bump into her. Like, oh, how you been? She'll say, "Oh, sorry, you've not done my event, so unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't know who
I
you
don't
are.
know you."
Who are you? Huh?
You want to see
Please.
some cool shit, and then she like
Yeah.
does like a Vulcan mind meld, and we go to
Oh, that'd be amazing.
we go
That'd be great.
and one question, like I wonder if because for 11 has like a very it's got a very important moment in time that defines the story, and it's the Crystal War, the War of the
Mhm.
Crystal,
Just that's pre-11 launch.
which is when the Shadow Lord like attacked the realm, and they
Shadow Lord.
Sorry,
Is
Shadow
this
Lord is just a. It's
is it the it is Shadow
Is this
Lord, right?
near?
I think
The
he was
Shadow
literally called
Lord.
the Shadow Lord,
The
right?
Demon
Oh my
Prince. The
God.
Demon
Yeah,
King.
yeah.
I mean, I'll also say the War of the Crystals is the most like Final Fantasy sounding,
It
like,
is.
generic setting in terms of like I'm sure it's told well as someone that hasn't played 11, but it's just such a generic descriptor.
It's the
Yeah.
War of the Crystal because the Shadow Lord is like. Well, I'm
The
not going to go
Shadow
through the whole thing, but it's a
What
big
was the
war.
name of that woman?
Sorry, what, Mela?
What was the name of the woman in Shadowbringers, Cyrano, whatever? What was her title? Shadow something.
Yeah, she was. Well, she
Shadowkeeper.
Shadowkeeper.
Shadowkeeper. Yeah, but
Slightly
she.
We're talking about
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Temulan?
No.
No, the woman beginning with C who was like the secret ending if you'd done all of the
The Void
Sile,
Quest.
Scylla?
The Void Quest.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, the
Ciela.
Ciela.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was so confused because you said Cyrano, and I was like,
yeah,
what?
it's not
Talking about-
Cyrano Mole. No,
Didn't
no,
she
sorry.
specifically talk about the?
She was the
Lord?
shadow, I guess, keeper.
She
was the Shadow
I can't remember
Keeper.
her title. She was the Shadow something.
Yeah.
She's
Everyone
the
says
Shadow Keeper.
Anyways,
Okay.
so there's that timeline, and then there's the post timeline after that, and then obviously all the expansions that follow. I wonder if maybe we'll see like the War of the Crystal, and that will be part of the raid. If it's gonna be theme park, it'll be completely inconsequential to anything in the game, so they can just do whatever. They can just show like scenes from Vanadil's history and just have us fight through it. I mean, a
When
war.
we have an Echo flashback,
Yes.
Yes.
and let's say the event in our Echo flashback is a 10-minute scene.
Yeah.
Are we having our headache for 10 minutes in game and we're just like
No.
out of it?
I don't think.
No.
Or is it like a
No.
quick flash?
It is
Because
It-
the
the
idea of
outsiders,
us
it
having like
happens fast.
an hour-long Echo flashback.
Well, it
quite
actually
funny.
depends. We've had a few times where we've passed out.
Yeah,
but-
we might have one of them. Also, we're
The
not going to
first-
get any gear from this raid if we are in an Echo flashback because it wouldn't make sense for us to pick it up.
Okay. Well, gear is not canon in the story, so
Mailer,
I'm
we
not.
get
not
we get
accepting
gear from within the Echo of the
it.
the lunar subterranean. I don't think they
Yeah.
care.
That's
no,
true, that's
no, that is we can't go that far.
I'm going to not roll on any of it for immersion
You're gonna do
purposes.
the RP run.
Well, you better. I hope you haven't rolled on any of the chests inside the lunar subterranean Echo either.
No.
No.
Well, no. Mela's starting now. This is
You're
this
starting
is the
now.
new Mela.
What even is the lunar
He's
subterranean?
going sober.
The second part, Mailer, of the Lunar Subtrain, where you're in Baron, from the most recent patch.
Yeah, I done it once though, so
That's
I only picked it up
fair. That's fair. Okay, well there you go. That's our take on that. We will see. It'll probably be what you'd expect from a raid nowadays. All right, let's talk about Cloud Data Center. The Cloud Data Center stress test and how we feel about it. We've been testing out the Cloud Data Center. We're on Cloud Server 2. We have an FC and everything. I think people have put way too much effort in the FC house, but it's good. It looks nice.
Way too.
I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the people that have put effort into our FC houses are only a fraction of some of the people that have spent so much time in this world already.
That's true.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been quite wild. Like, my judgment levels are at an all-time high, but you do you, and I'm really impressed at the amount of effort people are willing to put into the most throwaway week-long server. Like, people have completed Ultimate. People are grinding crafters.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing some of the most wild things for this weird ephemeral existence
in
we
the
have.
end,
but I like
it. Doesn't matter anyway. Yeah,
it's so weird.
Nothing matters in the video game.
Has anyone completed Eureka Hydatos yet? I want to see. I want to hear about I want to hear about a Baldessian Arsenal clear before this one ends.
That's got to be tough because the challenge log and the XP from grinding is that's a long haul.
Yeah.
People are working harder than they've ever worked before in this game for this week-long experience.
Because they want to look cool when the lights go out on Tuesday.
They will do.
So,
you will look cool, but no one will see you because the lights have gone out.
Yeah, you'll be gone forever.
The thing is that this is genuinely a very fun community event. Basically, they've never done before, but I think it really does show that. Man, a lot of people say this game's on decline or it's getting bad, but I do not think as many people would show up to this stuff if that was actually the case.
Oh yeah,
and they've made their own events too. They've made role play events. They made mini game events. There's an entire list that they had for the week.
Yeah, it's wild.
Are we not just moths within this world, enjoying life for what it is during our short period of life?
It's true.
Essentially, yeah. And this is the brightest flame we have right now. It is bot free.
Yeah.
People don't people aren't serious, so they're coming in with skibbity toilet names and puddle and everyone's just having fun. They don't care.
And
it's very interesting.
And I think most importantly, it has united the European and North American player base.
Japanese player base.
Well,
they've attempted.
Oh, they're
the
terrified.
Japanese player base has
get
tried, but they didn't quite. They've apparently they are having the biggest culture shock.
Yeah.
North America and Europe just fit together immediately. Japan is having a moment, but they're here. Some of them. I haven't seen many, but
I love it.
They're there.
You find some of the people have done. I think people have been doing Diadem and the Firmament stuff.
I did that.
The market board is weird.
Yeah. The market board is crazy. I love the market board.
It makes no sense.
It's terrifying. There's things that are empty, which you would never see empty. It's it makes me scared. I don't like it.
It makes no sense though. You see people selling the glamour prisms for 100k a pop, but then some mad lad has put the golden Mikoshi flute up for 50 million and 1,000 gil. 1,000 extra gil they went for on this server.
So you need to earn some extra gil before you can buy that.
It doesn't make any sense. And I love it.
Oh yeah,
it's like an economy forming itself, and it doesn't know what it wants to do.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, I got some leashes if anyone's looking, by the way, on Cloud Server 2.
Hit
me up.
It's because things that are necessary that are easy to obtain when you play this game in the normal manner. Just people need them instantly, so people are willing to pay high prices. Like glamour prisms, very easy to obtain in our worlds, but in this world, they're locked behind so many different things that take not a long period of time, but in the scale of this 7-day world, they are a long period of time. So people pay big money to get access to them early.
Yes. I say that JP has not. They don't. I have barely seen any. And
I mean, I don't think you're playing at the same time as them. That's
no,
No,
I think that's the
that-
problem. But also this, I mean, just the idea that it's an NA stress test might have like turned them off. A lot of Japanese players. So
They were asked. Yoshi-P asked
Yeah,
them
he
to
did.
participate.
Yeah, there'll be
Uh,
some of
I'm sure there are some
but
out there.
the ping though, oh my god, seeing videos of people dodging AoEs, how I used to be able to dodge AoEs before they moved the fucking servers. I felt like I was going crazy, right? I always thought like, oh, snapshotting has always been this bad.
Mm.
But no, seeing how beautiful and how close you can be again, it just I get so excited.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, that's so.
Mm.
That's the big thing here is that when I logged on here for the first time, it felt like I was on a European server. Like I couldn't really tell. Like I was trying to do some tests to see if there was any delay, like AOEs and stuff. It's a little a little bit worse than it is on Ragnarok, but only slightly. Like it is better than when it was when we had the EU data center in Canada, because
Mm.
back then you'd have to be like one step ahead of the
That was
mob
bad.
essentially.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it
It's
feels really good.
impressive.
If you don't
We
think
did
about
Fall
it,
Guys as the ultimate test, and
Yeah.
it's more noticeable there. But like
Yes.
for what claims to be like 2,500 MS ping, it's
Yeah.
not. It's pretty good.
also for a beta test
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, no, it's great. You can do so much more when you have lower ping. There is such thing as a lower ping advantage.
Yeah.
It's small,
Mm.
but boy, do you feel it.
yeah.
It's pretty big on weaving. Jobs that can weave better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had to like reconfigure my internal timings for weaving because
Yeah.
it is slightly off, but you can get used to
So
that.
basically, fuck you, West Coasters. I hate how you live.
Yeah.
You've ruined my life.
Yeah.
Just move to California.
No.
If
Move
this
to Washington.
if
Mm,
if this was how, don't move anymore, Rolla. For God's sake, you've just been in a cave. You stay where you are. No, not
I've been in the same place for like
Go
3
home.
years now.
Go
Stay
home
in
and
the
stay.
cave, Rolla.
Go home and stay. Yeah. So if this was the ping we got when the EU servers were in Canada, we probably wouldn't have to move.
We
had
might
to.
not have ever got Europeans.
No. So our experience has been positive. It's also fun
Yeah.
because like Mela said, it's because it's like a throwaway character. You can just do whatever you want. Like
Everyone
Mela
is just
has
doing
been
stuff.
stealing from people.
I've not
and-
stolen.
he stole from our
No.
FC
I was
chest.
given money voluntarily.
Uh,
I've hit gill cap. I'm
Mela has
already
hit
happy.
gill cap, so that was his goal for this this test.
Now I just need to figure out a way of funneling it onto Ragnarok.
Good luck with that.
If you see a Vieira, a minimum height Vieira, all of a sudden,
No!
who's like rich.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Nice
so
little preview of cross the region data travel. It's fun.
yes.
I love it. People were saying like it would be cool if they had something like this as just a hangout server for anyone to go onto, and I'm so for that idea.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to like do content with North America necessarily. But the idea of having just like the world to run around in with everyone, that would be super fun.
Because I've been thinking, because we talked about like cloud service being possibly like the future, like what would happen with like the server cultures that we have. Now we only have we have server culture, I guess, to a degree, but we have mostly data center culture now. If we had a cloud data center option where we could just like travel, like you said, like a hangout server, but it would literally transfer you to the cloud server system. So now you use the duty fine. You can actually do content
That would
with
be really
people on
cool.
that server. That would be nice. That would be a nice like middle point for this, because I cannot imagine like they would have to like launch new servers, like the cloud servers, right? So you would have to move your
Yes.
character there to play on them. There's no way they're going to be
Potentially,
like, listen, guys, it's all going to be cloud server now. So all the servers are going to be like shut down, and you have to move to a new
Yeah,
one.
well, that would be a mega server if they,
Yeah.
unless you had still a specific like EU cloud. Like, it wouldn't really work with the
No.
numbers of people they have max on each server, I don't think.
No.
But it's been really, like, the culture hasn't really been all that out there. Like, when we were doing our March thing, there were people like, hey, where are you guys from? And
Yeah.
it's like, it just felt very, I don't know, it felt nostalgic for, like, the old game. It was just like, everyone just had jumped on and was just chatting and hanging out.
Yeah, we got
Oh, yeah.
that was the thing that is very cool, is that with this test, everyone got to like experience the start of like a new character where like this kind of felt like a Realm Reborn again, because everyone was like at the same level. We're wearing the same clothes. We had the same amount of
Everyone
money.
was in dark light gear, except for some people had managed to start their relics or whatever. Like, it's like
You know what
being
You know what this is good evidence for?
What?
Fucking a Realm Reborn classic.
Yeah,
That's what they
no, it's
need.
not.
Please, no.
I don't
No,
see why
People,
this would be good
people
evidence
yearn
without
for a
an
Realm
no.
Reborn classic.
it wouldn't work.
How?
They do.
There was
No one
nothing.
would play it.
The world was not.
No one
that
needs a
good.
Rumble Classic. We just need everyone to have a hangout spot and chat and be social and just not care as much and make a funny character.
Yeah.
We saw so many strange names. Iconic.
Yeah, I watched Horsefont street fight, which I thought was really cool. It lasted way too long, which was great. Just a bunch of Horsefonts in a circle and two shirtless Horsefonts like battling it out in the middle.
Oh my.
It's been amazing.
Horsefont's
People
fun.
everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the place, just running around doing stuff.
Yeah, it was great.
Great times.
And it's still happening. I mean, when you're watching this on YouTube, unfortunately, it is over. We are, by the way, on Monday, we are doing... That's our last gathering on the cloud server. So if this is your last call, this will only for patrons, I guess, because when this is out on YouTube, it's too late. But if you're watching live,
and live viewers,
Cloud Server 2, Cloud Test Server, it's called something
Cloud
like number
Test
2.
02.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, obviously, tomorrow noon GMT, we'll all be hanging around on Cloud Test 01, I'm sure.
Right. For the
stress test, so
login cap stress test.
see you in Limps, I guess.
Yeah, should we
obviously.
Yeah, for those that are
Hard
meeting
role
up,
plays coming back.
speakers will be in Limsa, I guess. Yeah, we'll stand on where I stood last time.
Around the ether, right?
Yeah,
We'll be
between the weather person and Bango Zango. That's where I usually, unless there's someone else there, you'll find us. Just
we'll be hanging around.
I'll be called Lukiel Braystone. I'll be easy to spot. Okay.
I'll be called Yogi Wisted.
That will fuck people out. That will fuck people out.
Well, actually, you could make that character if you really wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do that, Mela.
I'll be Georgi.
And I'll be fucked.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be so fucked for me because I won't know who I'm talking to. All right.
I'm going to be Lukiel Bravestone.
Okay. All right. That's it for today. Is that it for today? I guess that. Oh no, let's talk about this.
Everything.
Just in general, what are your views on like a cloud server future? Like, do you prefer our current system, or do you want what we've had a taste of now for everything, like a mega server? What are your thoughts?
The servers in general, just for the stability and a kind of level of server identity. However, the cloud server is very interesting, and if they can make it work with a decent player cap and have a mega server, I'll go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for people who aren't in Europe or North America or Japan, this is going to really open up the game for you guys. So South America, Africa, I guess Central Asia.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a really good sign for the future of making servers in places that currently don't have them.
Yeah.
So, very bright future for you guys. Maybe there'll be issues around regional pricing. I know that's a big issue in South America, but we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would
there are
never.
already South Americans playing it, so they'll find a way.
Yeah.
I'd never move to the cloud server if they do end up making the NA East one a real thing. Because I mean, I already have everything. Unfortunately, on my West Coast server.
Yeah.
But if they want to just make every server like that, all of them cloud ones, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I want that performance. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can DC travel to it, you'd probably hop on, wouldn't you, Rollo? And then hang around, so it'd be fine.
Yeah.
The only thing is that if they do end up making this big DC everyone can go to from any region somehow or whatever, I they also have to add like cross-regional party finder, or else
100%.
it's really going to tank your home worlds, or I don't know. It'd be bad. It'd be bad for the community, I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's the difficult part, is to make sure that your servers don't die, like your community doesn't fall apart.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
care about culture or anything like that. I find that the
culture
Europe
forms
and-
naturally, anyways. It's not like
Yeah.
something.
Most servers have a
Mm.
similar culture, but there'll
Yeah.
be certain ones that are like.
No
very
one's like
specific-
no one's
yeah.
like maintaining the server culture. It just
No.
is.
It's
you know.
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just develops.
yeah.
There aren't
There's-
like guardians of the server culture.
No,
That
no.
would be funny.
No, that's just Yoshi P for the Japanese.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only one that's like different, but that's just because they literally speak a different language.
Yeah.
They
That's true.
do have a lot of different customs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like quite wildly different ways.
Which is why it would be so interesting if we actually got to do like a full like data center, cloud data center with the all
it
of
would be
the server.
so good. I
Yeah.
would raid find a queue and then leave.
Oh, I am
And I would be
praying.
so angry. I'd be on all of the witch
So
hunt
evil.
websites.
I am praying if they do make this mega cloud server somehow or whatever, duty finder for queuing just becomes the norm instead of party finder. I hate party finder with a passion. I would prefer the
I
queues.
kind of agree.
Really? Well,
I
I
hate
mean,
it. I hate it being the main way of doing everything.
I
Like,
hate it being the
I
main
think
way of
it's so
doing like
annoying.
end game content because there's a level of like
Mm.
it's like a lottery to get into a party if you're a certain role. It's very difficult sometimes.
That's true.
I
That
do
part I
agree,
don't
like
like.
just queuing and like it's naturally people are doing it anyway. That
but
kind
when
of
you
Yeah.
queue with a duty finder, you might get people that are just like half committed, and then they're like,
Yeah.
they're not. They refuse to talk. They do
Yeah,
all the mechanics wrong,
That's-
and
Yeah.
then they eventually just leave, and then you're stuck there. You have to wait for someone else to queue. Like
That could already
with
happen
the
in
party
though.
finder, they'll be like, okay, here's what we're doing. This is the task.
Mm.
And also, for you to go into the party finder, it's a bit more of a commitment than just checking a box in the duty finder waiting for it to pop.
It's technically a contract in for like report purposes, just letting everyone know.
Yeah.
But the amount of people where you go in for that one pull and you fail and they jump out and leave that's more frustrating than anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
So always make sure to report people, guys. It's I love reporting people.
I don't love Party Finder either, by the way. I don't really do
No.
Party Finders anymore on my
I don't
own.
mind
so
Party
good
Finder.
in
Sometimes you
Japan.
get a great party, sometimes you don't. But I guess being able to just queue for
But
the one you
if-
want and
if-
it works, that'd be cool.
If I were to do like, I want to do a farming party, you can't do
It
that
would
in the
need to be
duty
a
finder.
button. Yeah, it need to be an added
You would have to
button.
Oh,
just
yeah,
keep
that's-
getting a new
it's
party
loot.
every time with new
Well, I
waiting
think-
times.
That's for the
I think
party
the-
finder. That's fine.
Yeah, and I
Mm.
also think the idea is that if the duty finder becomes common enough, like should be able to just go in and like hopefully people will be competent enough. Like the competency level in Japan, to a certain degree, for the people that go into the duty finder is higher simply because they feel the shame of not performing.
That's
Well,
true.
Yeah, but yeah,
But that's fair though, because if you did it with one party and you were successful, then the next time you did loot and they weren't, you'd be annoyed. Whereas if you're in a party finder, you'll have a high percentage of success because it's the same group.
it's the same
every
group,
time.
so
Mm.
you know the
Yeah.
tactic.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's-
party finder is better in a lot of situations still.
Party Finder is good
You
for
make the party finder
progression
for that.
and for
You all agree on
farming.
what you're doing and then you go in.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
this is week 5 of the raid being out for Savage or whatever, I just want to do like the first tier or whatever, so I can get to the next one with my own static or whatever because I'm behind. I want to be able to
Yeah.
just queue in and like maybe not even the first try, the first pulls. Maybe it'll take until I queue up again to do it. But I'd rather that than fucking have to sift my way through Party Finder. It is annoying.
Looking at chat, that's interesting if that's actually the case. Party Finder is for learning in Japan and the Duty Finder is for farming. So people just expect you to know when you're in the Duty Finder.
That is interesting because the duty finder has a practice section.
I can see the
section.
culture clash when they come to North American European
That's
servers
okay.
with
We
that
will
mentality.
we will enforce our
Oh,
way.
No.
We will
We-
break their
We
spirits.
are the
Yes.
majority, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We will crush,
We are the majority here.
crush the Yamato spirit.
It is our way or no way. That's right. I mean, Party Finder for training is what we do as well, though. A Party Finder for training is
But we
what
do,
we
yeah.
would
we do everything through the Party Finder, though. We have no faith in the Duty Finder.
Yeah,
because you queue for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
before
because you have to
get
wait for
anything.
3 hours. But also, I used to do extremes via the Duty Finder, and it is not fun because it's non-committal when you're in the Duty Finder. If someone rages, they just quit, and it's ruined the party. Now you have to wait
that's
for
the
that to
thing.
replenish, and then you have to just pray that someone else is joined in progress for a fucking
it's because
Duty Finder
in-
run.
Our culture is
in the NA and EU, it's a noob trap essentially because we don't have the culture of
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm saying. That's why.
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's
why.
what I'm saying. I want that to the
That's
culture
what
of doing it too.
Rollo wants the culture to change.
That's not
Rory,
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
you
That's
know
never
very
gonna
well
happen.
culture
Yeah.
shift takes a long time.
Yeah.
We've played CK3. We know how long it takes
No.
for that new
Convert
cultural
county.
conditions.
Now,
Culture can change very rapidly in times of upheaval. So maybe
Oh, that is
the
true.
coming together. Maybe the
We-
coming together of all cultures will bring about such upheaval.
We'll get like a
That would be
hybrid
wild.
culture, I think. I don't think anyone.
We
I
will
mean,
have an in-game civil war between all
no.
of the
You know what's
cultures
gonna
on the
happen?
DC.
The Japanese players are just gonna check. Like, there's gonna be like added like a check button, so you only play with people from this region, and then they'll play
Yeah.
with JP
Yeah.
players only.
they can do that already.
That's-
They
Yeah.
did
So
language
there you go.
feature.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
but the
change.
amount of people who just
We
take
will
all of
keep-
them because even though they can't speak them.
Mela will keep doing JP
That's-
only and
I mean-
leave every time.
Yeah,
I feel like
leaving.
ticking all of them is more of a thing that you do in Europe just because there is a much greater variety in language. I feel
That's
like that's
true.
not necessarily a thing that happens as much in NA or JP.
No, but I'm
Maybe.
saying we're talking about a scenario where we're in a cloud server. I am saying that
Mhm.
JP is more likely to turn JP only
They would
on
do,
than for
They
us
would.
to
Yes.
uncheck anything.
But you are right. I will.
Yeah, but
join
it
Holocaust and ruin
defaults. I mean, you have to check them automatic by choice. It defaults to just
Currently,
the
yeah.
default language.
But in a
Yes, it
cloud
does, yeah,
server, I would
yeah.
assume it would default to everyone because you're on a cloud server. It
Yeah, no.
defeats the purpose, doesn't it? That you have it checked to only one
Yeah.
region.
I don't know, actually.
No, it's not. It doesn't check to region. It checks to language.
Well, yes, but yeah, to language, I guess.
I
Because
don't
what is
know,
our
maybe.
is
It would
ours?
change.
Does
Ours
ours?
would be E.
Yours defaults to English, but French players default to French, and German players default to German.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's yeah okay. So
JDF.
I find that to be a strange option for a cloud server where you're supposed to play with everyone.
It's more about
Because now we're locked to our like regions, like our
It's more.
it's just
It's
language
more about being able. It's
communication.
just being able to communicate with the people you're playing with.
Yeah, if you can't
Yeah.
speak English, you uncheck E and you tick F, and
Well,
then
yeah,
you'll only play with French
That's
people.
what the
If
auto
only-
translate dictionary is for.
If only that was true, Mela. If
I
only
know.
that people couldn't speak English didn't tick 8.
Yeah.
11 does not have that option, I think. So that's like why that the auto translate dictionary is so often used in 11.
Well, I think it's a clever. It's one of the things in this game I quite like. It's an interesting way of doing it. Most games wouldn't even care. They just put you with everyone.
Yeah.
I've never
well,
met these mythical French people you guys hate, by the way. You guys
It
talk about them
happened
so
while-
much.
It happened while I was leveling Roller. The first time I went into the Sunken Temple of Khan. I had,
I think
explaining the first boss of Khan.
I think you're making these French people up. I don't know.
No,
I've
Oh,
never
they
seen-
exist.
they exist, and you
They
know who you
exist.
are.
They play
Does
Dragoon.
France even exist?
Well, okay,
France exists.
France exists.
Sadly.
That's all. France exists. On that note, thanks for watching, everyone. That's the end of the episode. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersOfV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidelin, youtube.com/SpeakersOfV. No, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidelin, youtube.com/SpeakersOfV. Exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, links in the description. Remember to send us MogMail, speakersxov.com/MogMail. The website's back up. We'll be back in the post show if you're watching live with questions from the Syndicate and Pokemon.